She went to having no man at all or a mystery man to popping out with a new guy, this dude that you see on the screen.
Okay.
And of course, he is notably much younger than she is, although they do look like a cute couple.
Done left her husband for a Hawaiian.
In the very beginning, he's going to be very nice. He's going to be very charming. He's going to give you lots of sex. But I'm going to tell you what's brewing inside of him. That jealousy and that envy.
I always say this. They get to this stage in life, they have money in their bank account, they go younger. I don't think that we've had an opportunity to talk about Tia Mowry on this platform as of yet, but today is the day, baby. All right. The internet has been abuzz with Tia Mowry because it looks like she has revealed a new man that she's working with after the Corey Hardrick split. I believe it was about 2 or so years ago. But yeah, she's been seen walking hand in hand with this young scholar right here, looking like he is 15 to 20 years her junior. And we're going to get into that here in a quick second. But inevitably, people are not talking about that she's moved on so much as who she has moved on with. Allegedly, this young man is the art teacher to her daughter. But the double standards here is what's on trial, okay? If a man was doing something similar, he'd be labeled a PDF file. But when she does it, the onslaught of she's a queen committee sees absolutely nothing wrong with it. And in fact, she gets all of the praise. So listen, we're going to break this down to the molecules with help in part by our friend O'Shea Duke Jackson. So let's go in without further ado.
These joints to leave their husband to be providing to get what they be taking care of. I'm telling you.
The last 72 hours has been pretty interesting for Tia Mowry. She went to having no man at all or a mystery man to popping out with a new guy, this dude that you see on the screen.
Okay.
And of course, he is notably much younger than she is, although they do look like a cute couple.
He's right, you know.
But when this relationship was first exposed on the Shade Room, many people had their concerns.
Done left her husband for a Hawaiian. you know she paying all his bills. She paying for
every
everything.
single last one of them.
Woo! But many people supported it.
Okay.
Really happy for her when she started posting TikToks that were heavily implying that she had a man, right? Like she's like posting flowers and stuff like that, and like was posting TikToks that made it seem like she had a man. People were online were like, oh, she just got back with her ex-husband, which if she would have done that, I wouldn't have judged her for it, you know. But a little part of me was kind of sad, like, oh, she went back. I hate that for her. Finding out that it's actually a new guy makes me really happy.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
Now, I thought this person was interesting because what she said didn't make a lot of sense. If she, Tia Mowry, went back to Corey Hardrick, she would have accepted it, but she would hate that for her. But to find out that Tia Mowry has this new guy, it makes it so much better.
That's because to a lot of these modern ass women, going back to the man that you have built with, the one that you decided to not be in a relationship with anymore, to not be married to anymore, you know, the man that you have 2 kids with, it's treated like a downgrade. They would rather you choose something new and exciting than choosing stability or being accountable enough to repair the situation that already had somewhat of a foundation. And that's because they hate stability. Why? Because they're chaotic in the way that they think. Stability to them is boring. So which leads them to self-sabotage, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. And these women with money, they always go younger because the younger guys are more willing or ill-experienced enough to deal with their modern-ass bullshit and their bad behavior. Let's go.
And I thought it was interesting because we did eventually find out who this young man was.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Javon Armada. Now, he is an artist, designer, and an educator from East Cleveland, Ohio, now living and working in the NoHo Art District of Los Angeles. You get it? NoHo? Like, you get it?
All right.
No hoes?
All right.
Got him.
All right, O'Shea, we got it,
This
bro.
multidisciplinary practice spans drawing, murals, and live art experiences that connect people through creativity and collaboration.
Okay.
And I also heard that this guy is actually the art teacher of Tia Mowry's daughter. And that's pretty much how they met. So I decided to go to Google Gemini. And knowing that Tia Mowry lives in Southern California, I asked, what's the most amount of money this guy can make? And in Southern California, a high school art teacher can make between $120,000 and $135,000 annually.
That's incredible.
Now, this is pretty interesting because after you get taxed, pay rent, pay insurance, pay your 401k or pension, yeah, absolutely nothing. So I thought that was pretty interesting, especially since Tia Mowry graduated from marriage. She graduated to get this high school teacher, right? And then there is this other issue.
So when a man knows that he cannot provide for you in the way he wants and not give you everything that he desires to give his woman, and he's comfortable with that, that is not your man. He does not see you as his woman. He does not see you as someone he's going to be with in the future. He sees you as someone that's going to help him get through this rough patch in this very moment. But once he levels up, and if he does, hopefully, but when they do level up, that's why they leave you and bounce up to another woman, because you've seen them at their worst.
Okay. And
in the very beginning, he's going to be very nice. He's going to be very charming. He's going to give you lots of sex. But I'm going to tell you what's brewing inside of him. That jealousy and that envy. He envies the fact that you are so ambitious. You're a go-getter. Everything that you have, you worked your ass off for it.
so, of course, before they move the goalposts, most women will always tell you that you should never deal with a man that makes less money than you, because that man is always supposed to be on your level. And it's interesting because in the last clip, the lady was talking about you got to find a man on your level. And then somebody said this: I can't find any that are in my level.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Yeah, okay. So I think the context that O'Shea is talking about is how much that the young brother makes in comparison to her net worth, right? I don't even know if she's working nowadays, but man, them sisters are still on air, so I know that she's still getting them royalty checks. Because 6 figures plus as an art teacher, even over there, okay? If he manages his spending correctly, that is fantastic. But the real insanity here is the content creators that continue to pollute the water with their gender dynamics bullshit, just straight up making it up. They create these dirty echo chambers with this malinformation for these people to follow, and they share tips as if it's a tip, but it's really a tip of bullshit in accompanying to their delusional ass standards. All because they get traumatized by men, do not seek therapy for their bullshit, and utilize TikTok as their therapist. Concluding that this man is going to leave Tia just off of the strength of him not making as much money is complete and utter bullshit. But whatever y'all do to continue to feed whatever delusion that you put yourself up in to feel better about why a man left you in your situation. They would rather judge men off of what they have in their bank accounts as opposed to look at their moral character, all while complaining that they can't find men on their level without understanding that their level is ain't shit.
Yeah, neither can Tia Mowry. Woo! But let's go back.
No. I disagree. I think that this is Tia Mowry's level, okay? If she don't want to go back and fix the shit that her relationship turned up into, I always say this: they get to this stage in life, they have money in their bank account, they go younger. That menopause is ticking right around the corner. Their hormones are going insane, and their likelihood of wanting to get their backs just completely destroyed by a young strapping young man, you know what I'm saying? That's like, for those that don't know, a young lady that's in her 40s, 45, something like that, that's the most horniest. This is from experience, baby. They are done with the love shit. The eggs is cooked. Their hormones is screaming, and they wanna just get into submission. So I agree with O'Shea that she can't get her level. This is her level. She's damn near 50. Let's go.
So, okay, we already seen what happened. Tia Mowry fell in love with a man that's 35 years old, who has 2 kids of his own. At best, he's a high school educator and a freelancer, and he doesn't make a whole lot of money. it's okay. This is a come up for black women. Like literally, one of these ladies in the previous clips actually said it. Black girls, we up. But wait, there's more.
Why is not staying married up?
So guys, there's some more to this story about Mr. Armada.
Okay.
There are some evidence about his last relationship, and his ex-girlfriend is coming out, really talking about some things. And this has been flowing around the internet. And as you guys know, on Facebook, there are these groups. One of them is called Black Women Uncensored. And what you can do now on Facebook in the last few years is you don't have to come out and say who you are. You can come out and be an anonymous participant. So you can hide your identity. You couldn't do that before, but you can do it now. And this lady says, my ex left me for a celebrity mom, and she just soft launched their relationship online yesterday. He's her daughter's teacher.
Damn.
I'm about to crash out and go public with it, but I need somebody to talk me down from this ledge. What would you do?
These groups are full of losers.
Then there was more. We are not legally married.
It's on Discord?
We were talking about marriage, and he claims he still intends on asking for my hand once this blows over. We spoke about a poly situation since there were other instances that implied it should be considered. When this came about, he told me he'd ask her if she was down for there being a third, and the third being me.
What?
It wouldn't, LOL. That's why I stepped away. The man can't look at me without wanting to undress me. Between that and the attachment his daughter has to me, it never would have worked. So this has been going around about Mr. Javon Armada, and the whole internet has been talking about it.
Okay.
I've just taken my time to really discuss it. But, this is kind of what I honestly believe. I think easier when a woman first gets into that first relationship. And, we're going to be honest. I'll be 45 soon. I'm 44 now. At our age, we are probably not going to change. The way that we look at the world is the correct way. Our experience has taught us as such. And then when you've been in relationships before or friendships before, you want to do things your way in your mid-40s. You're not going to get with anybody who challenges the way that you do things. It's just not going to work. So Tia Mowry, her situation as it is, she's going to have to get with a man that's going to be on her program.
Yeah.
She has 3 kids. She doesn't want to be a wife to anybody else, at least on a man's terms.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to fit into anyone's life. She needs a man to fit into her life. And of course, when you're dealing with a man who doesn't have as much as you, hey, yeah, it's very possible that a man can fit into your life. Like one of the people said, the sex will be good at first. The attention and the love bombing will be good at first. But of course, we already know who has the most to gain from this relationship. It's not Tia Mowry. See, Tia Mowry is looking for a man that is fitting a certain narrative. Tia is looking for a man that solidifies how she already feels about herself. Typically, men, we look for things that challenge us. Women tend to look for things that solidify them. And of course, if you want a guy that feels that you're great at what you can do for him right now or for where you are right now, yeah, that man will come around. But again, most likely he'll have some other stuff on the side. I can guarantee you if he was rich and had money, he wouldn't be dating Tia Mowry. But the issue also comes in the long term when you're a lady like Tia Mowry, you've been very successful, you've had a husband who understands what it takes to get to that certain level of a success. And what tends to happen is long term, once you get into relationships with people who don't understand that, it's hard to keep them around. Like it's easier for a man, let's say for me, who went to medical school and I work all day, it's easy for me to get with a woman who might not be kind of like on my level of work drive and all that. But what I've noticed is for a woman who's ambitious, it's very difficult for her to stay along with a man who doesn't have her drive, especially if she's been around a man that has that drive. Like, remember Jeff Bezos?
Okay, hold on. I think what's really interesting amongst all of this is the trend that I continuously call out. Older women, okay, wall bangers, if you will, exceedingly choosing way younger guys. What's also interesting is that the TikTok mafia will take a look at that and label that as a win when this is what we've been talking about. And that is that due to the differences between what men and women are looking for within relationship, generally women, their value in the dating marketplace will tend to go down over time. Whereas men, typically at the same damn time, will increase with value. You know, it doesn't increase the entire time, right? Probably levels out at some point within that. And that is irrespective of the amount of money that she will have within the bank. Tia found somebody that, you know, working on his art stuff, trying to figure out him, trying to understand where he's going in life, right? Who is represented somewhere down here. And, you know, they met up at this particular junction. Now, with the other TikToks we're talking about is to say, hey, listen, what's going to happen when he gets here, okay? When he gets here, irrespective of him as a man or that, he's going to be looking for another young lady that is somewhere around this junction. And she may not be as old and weathered and experienced baggage through time. So, you know, she might be right here. Now, typically what prevents this hopping back and forth is not only the type of man that you are picking, but also marriage. But when you got a generation that more so values the power in their orgasm as opposed to marry before you carry, then their leverage within that just doesn't exist. And then you see them on a Kendra G dating show with 4 kids by 4 baby daddies practicing abstinence, looking for a God-fearing man. But the hilarious thing is watching these TikTokers continue to cope over their leader's decision, acting as if this was the best option for her, when really it's all that she can get. Let's return.
Man that has that drive. Like, remember Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos is probably like one of the richest people on planet Earth. His wife was called Mackenzie Scott Bezos, all right? That's who she was at first. And she was married to Jeff Bezos from 1993 to 2019. Then she got married to this school teacher, Dan Jewett. They were married for only 2 years. And one of the reasons why is because, well, they just had different long-term goals. You can't marry a school teacher. Like, you're a billionaire woman. You've been around Jeff Bezos, at one time the richest man on planet Earth, hardworking, overachieving, and then you get with this guy who is nothing like that. You're going to always compare that person to him. And this is the same thing with Tia Mowry. Corey Hardrick is doing great things. Better things than he was doing when he was with Tia Mowry. He's probably never had as much opportunity as he does now. If he wanted to date, marry, whatever he wanted to do, it'd be completely easy. He can get somebody on the same level of Tia Mowry, if not better. Tia Mowry can no longer get a Corey Hardrick, and it's evident. And most women who don't want to change and they're in a situation as Tia Mowry, no man wants to put up with their problems or their BS. So they have to go out and literally pay for it. And this was a mistake Mackenzie Scott did. She liked him. The idea sounded good at first until that guy was not the man that she was exposed to. And again, Tia Mowry could never want to get back with Corey Hardrick for the rest of her life. I understand that. But here's the thing. If this young guy is not going to be like Corey Hardrick, she will lose respect for him. It's not going to matter how good she has a young boy toy, how good he's clapping her cheeks. Ultimately, that chagrin she has towards him is not going to be able to be hidden. She's going to let somebody know, and he will feel it, and they will start to have problems. And ultimately, all women that feel like you can deal with a successful man and drop down to a man that's not successful, especially if you've been successful, it's not going to work out. And if I'm Corey Hardrick, I'm just sitting back looking at this like, oh, okay, you know, this is evident you can't get anybody else, which is the truth. So guys.
Okay. You know what it kind of also reminded me too is the Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey situation, right? Like the idea that, you know, Michael was able to exceptionally upgrade his life, his pursuits, his accolades, his achievements once he got out the relationship with Lori Harvey. Now with that, I mean, not like the boy had any trouble before, but even with all of this, he now really has the damn pick of the litter. And if you look in contrast to the options available to a Lori Harvey, the older that she get, she's going to be like Tia Mowry, going back into the young bucks who don't know no better. But the more that I see like this different content on these internet streets, right? And I see these different TikTok videos and thinking about Tia Mowry's situation, it's not about who effectively that she is dating, right? It's the narrative behind how people talk about relationships depending upon who's in control, okay? One thing that I didn't say within this is that between her and Corey Hardrick, they had a prenup, right? And it worked in her favor because she had more of the financial leverage, right? And that's the point of the prenup, right? To protect what was created prior to getting into the marriage, right? It's not planning to fail as what some of these, modern feminists will tell you. It's structuring based off of the fairness and reality at that time, not what was created within the marriage, but the time before the marriage, okay? So it's going to protect the higher earner, which man or woman, but typically due to hypergamy, it's going to be more than often the man. So boom, she protected the sister bag and is now utilizing them excess funds to fund her current lifestyle. And therein lies the double standard, okay? Because when men date younger, it gets labeled as predatory or like you're insecure or you're dating that girl because she don't know no better. And when women do it, it gets framed as empowerment or you choosing you living in your truth. Choose happiness. And that's why these stories get heat. But, as long as I'm here to expose the bullshit, I will continue to do so. All right, guys, drop me your comments, questions, concerns down up in the comment box down below. I appreciate you guys for rolling with me on this roller coaster ride of content. Shout out again to O'Shea for the initial look at this particular story. Guys, let me know what you think down up in the comment box down below. Do you agree with the points and positions? Do you disagree? All right, what is it that you think about the Tia Mowry situation? I want to know. And if anything, I will see you guys very, very soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.